send it over to our casters. Monty, Dylan, take it away.
Thank you, Puckett. Here we go, guys. Seoul Dynasty taking on the Houston Outlaws. And this one, as the desk mentioned, has some major playoff implications, but some interesting roster stuff going on.
Yeah, that's right. I think the loss of Linkster today, I came in today, Doa, and I was so excited. I thought this is the time for Houston to take a major win.
Yeah.
It's checking all the boxes. Are they going to be playing a Widow Junkrat style with some conservative tanks that we just saw Seoul lose to when the London Spitfire also used that style? Check, right?
Okay,
do we have
a long one.
Do we have a player? Do we have a player that can match up with Fleta and Linkster? Check in theory, but not actually.
All right.
And the map pool is also fantastic for the Houston Outlaws. Eichenwald, Horizon, and Junkertown, all of these maps, they are undefeated on. So you'd think this looks really good, but with the loss of Linkster today, I think it really brings it back down, and this is where the hype killing comes in a little bit, unfortunately.
I know. It's already begun. You know, Clockwork performed admirably in their last match, but, you know, you really wish you could see Linkster if you're on the Houston Outlaws side of things. On the Seoul side of things, I think you got to be a little bit happier because we've got Jae-Hong in again today rather than Guido. And although, you know, Seoul seemed to have a lot of, you know, support for this guy in their last match, I think there's just no comparison between Guido and Jae-Hong and what Jae-Hong can do for this team in terms of his synergy with Toby, in terms of the individual playmaking he brings to it. I'd say you go with Jae-Hong 100% of the time. I'm kind of shocked about that choice yesterday.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and we are going to see if this will correct some of the mistakes that Seoul was making. But
we will
stylistically, there's not going to be a lot of change from the Houston Outlaws, and if they play their similar style, Seoul did struggle with this when they played against the Spitfire. We're going to see Clockwork on Pharah, surprisingly, not a hero we typically associate with him as a player.
All right, cool Matt, listening in, trying to hear the footsteps of heroes he recognizes.
That's right. I think it's going to be pretty clear, though, what Seoul's going to run. If you have Wicked in the lineup, you know it's going to be pretty Pharah or Junkrat focused overall. Typically, Seoul has run a Pharah Tracer on attack here on point A, and then really emphasized Fleta's Widowmaker in point B. But they're not going to do it, Doug. They're not going to do it. They're going to play Wicked on the Tracer and Fleta on the Pharah.
Interesting. So, see what Fleta can get done here. Jake, lurking around the back. Let's see if he can catch a support here. Going for Jae-Hong. Jae-Hong in a little bit of trouble. Takes some damage, but Jake not getting the damage he looks to. He does dodge the ult fire, but can't get the kill. Meanwhile, back to the point. Chase down. Oh! Turns around and shows Wicked who's boss. Man.
Yeah, interesting to me that they would run Wicked here.
Miro, you okay, buddy? That was odd.
That was certainly odd.
Huh. All right, maybe we'll call that a reset, I guess. Oh, Toby's rezzing him. Strange.
That is, you're not getting a lot of value out of that in terms of Valkyrie charge either. You can see Fanny right neck and neck with Toby.
Here we go. Coming in right now, Miro falls early. And ooh, that's a big fight for Houston Outlaws. Already 3 instant kills, and that's going to be Seoul Dynasty sent back to spawn one more time.
Yeah, things looking great so far. We keep coming in and playing that Tracer, even though they have 2 dedicated Tracer players on the roster in Bunny and Munchkin.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they change this up moving forward on this map.
We'll find out. And Raucus trying to find those alt fires onto Pharah. Every once in a while, you get to hit those. It feels good. Seoul Dynasty coming back in. No ultimates to use, but dive might work out. Jae-Hong goes on early. Jake found him with the pulse bomb in the back line. That's a big problem for Seoul already. And Toby falls as well. So again, Seoul pushed back, and I gotta say, I would not, if you took the nameplates off and asked me who this team was attacking, I would never in a million years tell you it was Seoul Dynasty. They are not looking like themselves today.
Well, they looked a little bit out of whack yesterday, and remember that they are playing on an entirely different set of maps today than yesterday, so depends on where they put their prep in for the week, but they're having to play all 8 maps in our pool over a 2-day time span. Can be difficult to do that.
Yeah, that's right. And Jake trying to find Jae-Hong. He's got him trapped in the room, but he's down to about half health. Gets taken down. Jae-Hong back to life one more time in terms of that bloodthirsty potential. And now Seoul trying to move onto the point. Still only that kill on Jake so far. It is a 6v5. Coolmat looking for the pharmacy with that self-destruct. He finds Toby. Gets taken out by Fleta though, and Raucus coming in for a bit more revenge on the Houston side. Zunba kind of standing alone here. on that Diva, and that's going to be the end of the attack for Seoul.
And Muma doing what Muma has done best over the past couple of weeks, Joa. That Primal Rage came out early in that fight to force Jaehong to Transcendence, and it didn't get a lot of healing done. So again, he is successfully using the Winston Ultimate to cut off healers from the main bulk of the team, and nobody has yet to find an answer to Muma's positioning during that Winston ult, and it's been a big problem for Houston's opponents.
So after nearly everyone was dead on Seoul, Fleta decided to use a barrage on Pharah, got killed immediately, no benefit from it. I thought maybe he's going to switch, but no, he's still on that Pharah. But things definitely looking a bit discombobulated for Seoul right now. Whoa! And Pharah v Pharah sometimes turns out that way. Fleta brought back up again, as is Clockwork. Jake still harassing those back lines. Zunba coming back to try to distract him a little bit. Seoul on the point now. We'll see what they can do. Fleta res one more time. I think that's
Clockwork got Toby
for Seoul Dynasty, and yeah, Toby falls immediately after that. They do get Muma though, so Seoul's still in this one for the moment. In fact, they're getting the kills they need.
Only two left. It's Fanny and Jake on the point right now, trying to stall this out for as long as they can. Clockwork will be resurrected.
Oh, Jaehong again! That's two in a row. He's won against Jake. Bonnie brings him back up again with the Mercy ultimate, but there's not a whole lot of members of Houston on the point right now. We're into OT already. Jaehong finally pops that Transcendence as they try to clean it off, but no, the payload gets rolling right off the bat. And so, that'll be Seoul Dynasty barely pulling out point A in the end.
Yeah, just barely, like you say. Muma's Primal Rage not enough to get onto the point in time, and Jaehong.
Dude, that's 3 in a row now onto Jake.
Yeah, you can see that he's being boosted, damage boosted here by Toby's Mercy, and that is delivering in spades as he's picking up a lot of these kills. Fleta going to be sticking to the far. A lot of time we will see Seoul play Widowmaker on attack here on point B, but feeling confident in what they've got right now. Jake is going to make the transition over to the Junkrat Clockwork on the Soldier 76 to help deal with this Pharah in the skies.
Yeah, some solid swaps for point B here. Fleta harassing a little bit, but it's going to be hard to dislodge Houston from the top there without any sort of dive. See what Seoul does. He's just going to come in. Yeah, he's got his tank supporting him. Maybe looking for an opportunity for that barrage, but Jake goes down fairly early. Fell in the moat, I think, there, and they're finally going to pick off Fleta. So Houston manages to hold, but that payload made a little bit of distance. Got through the gate at least.
Still, you're going to be really happy with that if you're Houston. You nearly full held on this map. There's only a minute remaining for Seoul to push.
Yeah, Zunba dying really late too, along with Miro, is going to slow down this push even more. Fleta finally over to the McCree, so making that swap now, but they really need to push this in a hurry if they want to keep the map going.
See that stat right there, 3 kills in a row for Jaehong onto Jake as Tracer. Not going to be happening so much anymore with the swap off onto the Junkrat, but still an impressive win rate in those duels.
Fleta missing those crucial shots, but ooh, he finds the D-Mac on a cool mat. That's a helpful one, getting the Diva out of the way. Trying to get that momentum building for Seoul Dynasty. They've got Ults to work with, but Houston, a plethora of power on the other side as well.
Tactical visor in play from Clockwork.
Muma goes down, support ultimates used. There goes Clockwork. Seoul Dynasty and Fleta starting to tear through these guys, and they will do just that. Bonnie not even able to use that Valkyrie. They've got one more defense coming up here, though, and they've got a lot of ults to use. So I think that was kind of a calculated retreat, if you will, for Houston.
Yeah, they have 2 support ults to use, so one of Dynasty, and Jake can also open up with that Riptire. So just waiting for the spawns to come in. Jake was the last one up, and now they're going to be going.
Yep, time to defend the payload. Not moving yet, there's nobody from Seoul on it. There we go, now Miro jumps in as the dive comes through on the back line. Muma barely makes it back, but he's so low. Gets the heals in the end. Jake finds Wekied with that Riptire. We'll see if the self-destruct from Zunba can get anybody. Nope, they back off, come right back in again. And Rocket's down and back up due to the Valkyrie. Mercy ults coming in now. Toby with his up too, and there's the Transcendence from Jaehong. Can they grind this fight out? It's gonna be tough, and now the self-destruct from Coolmat. Seoul on the run, Zunba nearly demeched from that one, but somehow stayed in it. And they're gonna get it there.
Wow.
Whoa, that was close.
Jaehong gets the Transcend up in the nick of time to push forward, and Seoul somehow, with such a small amount of time on the clock, is making the necessary plays to get here through point B. On to point C right now. That means we're going to see a lot more barrier heroes, especially tanks, as Muma swaps over to that Orisa. Same thing with Miro. in these narrow corridors.
And again, Seoul finds themselves in the position where they really just need to have a non-stop push here. They can maybe lose one fight, but they really can't get slowed up much at all.
Oh, they're running out of time to even lose that one fight, Doa.
Yeah,
Only
very
50
true.
seconds, so can't keep on pushing forward. Fleta nearly there with the Deadeye right now. At least he can push them back. Clockwork taken out.
That's pretty crucial, man. Getting that McCree out of the way is a big deal. Deadeye, can they break the shield with the self-destruct maybe? They get Bonnie with it, and there's a shot on Amuma. Good synergy with the Seoul members, and Fleta on fire now with this McCree. There goes Coolmat. That payload is going to get some serious distance.
That self-destruct destroying the barriers opened up the opportunity for Fleta rather to get some kills with the Deadeye.
Well, catching Bonnie with the self-destruct was just a bonus too for
Yep.
Seoul. They're rolling in here. Muma needs to jump on the point, but he's kind of on his own. Now the heals come in. Bonnie nearly has that Valkyrie. 10 seconds as Seoul backs away. What are they waiting for? Toby's got the Valkyrie. They're going to get him involved here. Down to about 5 seconds. Zumba and Miro need to get there. Miro low health. They need to do something here. Somebody needs to get on this payload. They got there in OT just in time, but Zumba demeched in the process. Valkyrie is coming in. They're going to catch Zumba again. Can anyone get back to the payload? Jaehong now with the Transcendence. And I don't know, man. I don't know if Seoul can grind this one out. Houston looks like they're pulling ahead in this fight, and I think they've got it.
Zunba was killed while he was re-meching after the resurrection, so that's a big tank down, and it's a slow cleanup process here, but Houston is going to hold just before point C.
That's right. So Seoul Dynasty able to nearly push it all the way through. A couple crucial overtime clutch moves, but in the end they can't quite get 3 points. Opportunity for Houston Outlaws.
I'm astounded they even got 2, Doa. Honestly,
Same,
that was such a short amount of time to work with and the time bank to go through the long curves of point B, and they pull it out just in the nick of time. So Seoul, despite a struggle on point A, actually nearly makes it to the end of Eichenwald, and they have set a bar now for Houston to reach for.
True.
This has been a great map for the Houstons. They are the Outlaws. They are 3-0 on this map so far, and it has also been one of Seoul's worst maps.
Yeah.
So the Houston Outlaws, without Linkser today, without their star DPS player, they need to win this one for sure. This is going to really set the tone of this series and what the Outlaws are capable of without running Linkser.
I agree. Now, if you look at Seoul's match yesterday, they were having they weren't able to quite stop London, but it was close on some of their defensive rounds. For the first 2 maps, in fact, London didn't actually take the point until they were under a minute left in the time bank. So Seoul's defense, while looking awkward, was adequate against London, at the beginning at least. So we'll see what they can do, but Houston certainly coming into this one with a lot of momentum. I'm still a little bit confused. Seoul just does not look like themselves this week.
Well, they haven't, Doa. We're not sure what's going on with this roster or the decisions that have been made when it comes to fielding players, particularly against London. They have gone back now, and I think they're using a roster that we would have expected on this map, especially using Wakid. Not necessarily on the Tracer, that was a bit odd, but certainly on the Junkrat.
True enough.
And Fleta will be protecting the flanks here with the McCree. Now, Houston Outlaws are showing us a very different style of attack. Jake is going to switch to the Junkrat. I think they were assuming the Pharah was going to be there, but it's
like
not.
they think they're on point C already here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Try a slow push in behind this barrier.
Yep. Zoning out Fleta a little bit here. Is Coolmat as they walk in. And McCree not much of a threat, but he will get some heals. Can't just walk up on him.
So Reese is going to be less effective than they would like versus an enemy Junkrat. But they're sticking with it for the moment. And they have
Jake
slowly pushed forward. Jake is going to get a flank here. He's going to get Wakid with the mine.
And he is so good. Now he's zoning out Jaehong as well. Going to be hard to get past that trap. There it is, destroyed. But again, the zoning is real. Zunba does get Clockwork though. So Houston losing a couple of people here. And Operation Kill Jaehong is basically all Jake is doing. In the meantime, his team is taking the point.
Jake did a great job of getting a kill onto a DPS and then zoning out the Zenyatta.
Yeah.
Made it so it was only Miro and Fleta left.
That was very fast, Houston Outlaws, and they've got tons of time now.
Yeah, they absolutely do have an enormous amount of time to work with here. And they're going to get it moving through this portcullis and on towards the castle. So we see No swaps coming yet. Muma maybe staying on this Orisa for a while. The Outlaws, yet in their match earlier this week, were preferring to sort of just stick Muma on the payload on the Orisa and have him ride it out.
Yeah. Oh, it's certainly been working. Hero taking some shots, and watch out for the Deadeye coming in from Fleta, but no kills out of that one, it looks like. And Seoul just playing this one pretty conservatively.
Yeah, Houston is just so patient.
Oh, Jaehong. Ooh, that was close.
And slow with these attacks that they've been running. You can see that Clockwork really does understand the strategy. Teams have said that it wasn't hard to field Clockwork because he already understands the tactics and the teamwork that are needed in order to enact their plans.
Wow, how about that move from Seoul just there? Zunba and Jaehong kind of trapped in the room, and they come out, charge right in. They have the Transcendence, get a couple kills there, but that's going to be enough to push Houston back.
Yeah, holding on to a lot of ultimates as well. So
Yeah.
Seoul being quite conservative.
Just good coordination. I mean, they kind of used Zunba as a jailbreaker to just push through the Outlaws, and only had to use that Transcendence just to get Zunba back into the teams safely.
Yeah. I'm curious what they're going to do, what Outlaws are going to do with this Orisa. They're really prioritizing holding on to him for the time being. Miro lurking above, getting some free damage, and then using that Primal Rage right away.
Oh, Jake barely gets out of the way there. From that self-destruct, Cool Matt pops his as well. Jaehong does get the supercharger immediately. Muma falls to the Riptire before he's brought back up again. Toby in trouble again. Oh, Jake. We've seen him use that move before, and it's been effective, but this time around doesn't work. Fleta gets two. Gets a D-Mech on the Cool Matt. And so far, so good for Seoul. Again, a solid defense, and they have ultimates to spare at the end of it.
That was a dominant hold from the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah.
They didn't bat an eye as Banny used the Valkyrie. Toby just holds onto his for that entire engagement, and Houston was trying to stop the bleeding early on. The picks came in fast for Seoul Dynasty. They ended up using the self-destruct just to remech, and then the Valkyrie to try and bring back up a couple of the players who were picked off, but it ended up in a 6v6, and Toby didn't even have to counter with his own Valk.
Yep.
So this is looking like a long hold in progress for Seoul, making up for the time they lost after giving up the Ghosts so quickly on their initial defense.
They need to keep it up though. Oh, and Jake finds two, including Toby, who had just popped his Valkyrie. That's not good for Seoul at all.
That is a clutch kill. It's exactly
Yeah.
what you need if you are the Houston Outlaws to keep moving with this one. Eliminate the Valkyrie and the Mercy at the same time.
That's exactly what Jake does on the Junkrat, man. He has been so clutch on this hero all season long, and that's going to pave the way for most of Point B for Houston.
Wow, it's hard to overstate how much time that buys you in this situation, because you need a big time play like that, perhaps a mistake from one of the support players, and as a result, they may go ahead and cap Point B.
That's right. He's just going to charge through them with the tranquility. You're not a bowling ball though, Raucus. You are a healing ball, and Wiki just waits out the ultimate, gets the kill there. Can Houston finish this one? Ooh, ult's coming in from Seoul. They're throwing everything at him right now, and it may be enough to stabilize. They will, but no ultimates remaining now for Seoul.
There's not a lot for the Houston Outlaws either. Still, Seoul will stay in control of the payload for a little bit longer. Fleta's pushing up right now, trying to plink away and chip some damage off the members of the Houston Outlaws. Slow them down as much as you can as they're coming in.
As you can see from the stat there, Fleta certainly having a good round on McCree. Weki, though, finding the sure shot against Jake's Riptire there. Ooh, gotta be careful. Helix Rocket does some serious damage. All right, attack visor, we'll see what they can do. Ooh, man, Fleta got really low up on the top. Now the gun turns towards Miro, who is on his own, taking out Houston with two already. Jaehong falls to the Primal Rage from Muma as well. Zunba charges in, but doesn't have any support. He'll go down. Toby brings Jaehong back again. But on their own, without those tanks, there's not a whole lot they can do.
They're still going to win this fight, though, in the end. Toby used that Valkyrie to, again, bring back people who were picked off at the start of that fight.
Yep. Oh, Miro gets back just in time, and he's got his Primal Rage. I can't believe Houston wasn't able to push it through just yet. He's going to fall. That should finally do it. But Seoul does manage to buy themselves a little bit more time, but Houston still with a minute 40 here.
Yeah, good hold on B. They got about 4 minutes
Yeah.
of defensive time, but the Outlaws still Going to be in a good position here to match the payload distance and beat it of the Seoul Dynasty. So coming in right now, Jake. It's another Riptire already. Miro swapping over to that Orisa. Muma is staying on the Winston for the time being.
Well, he's over halfway to his primal rage, so maybe that's the philosophy there. You get it, you push people back, might work. Here comes a Riptire. Is Seoul ready for it? I don't know, man. No, they're not. Miro and Fleta taken down. Here comes... Whoa! Wekied! You know, that's not the only tire in town, and Wekied does a bit more damage. Houston striking back immediately, though, with the Mercy ultimate, or rather with just a res, and they're going to come
Jake,
right back
though,
with these kills.
Gets another two. Jake actually redeemed that fight by picking up more members of the Seoul Dynasty. The back-to-back tire wars are won by the Outlaws at the end.
Zumba gets there. They need the rest of Seoul to show up, though, if they're going to try to stop this one. 40 seconds left for the Houston Outlaws. And the last-ditch defense by Seoul. I don't know, man. Miro back on the point. They need to get a healer there to keep him up. Dead again, and that is it. Houston will take Eichenwald.
Toby died at the end with the Valkyrie. Both of the Mercy players, Vanny and Toby, had gotten the Valkyrie up, but Toby dies again. A couple of critical pickoffs on Toby really changed the tide of that map and push everything in the Outlaws' favor. And they're going to go up 1-0 in this series.
Impressive stuff from the Outlaws, as we were expecting here, but Jake, man, that guy on that Junkrat, if he could play it every round, every map, that would be a force to be reckoned with. But it was enough here on Eichenwald. Houston jumping out to an early lead in this series. I think we're in for a good match either way. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Assault right after this.
바로 광탈 내건 쓸게 이번에. 디바 이거 준방 정크레 날라오는 거 조심하고.
야, 저기 앞을 당겨봐 이거 앞을 당겨봐.
죽었다. 괜찮아. 죽었어. 뭐야?
밑에서 싸웠다 밑에서.
괜찮아.
버티면서 해봐 버티면서.
야, 나 화면 볼 수 있는데.
화면 비벼봐. 비벼볼게. 비벼.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
Look at you, Tyson Anytizers and Crispy Strips. You help fuel greatness. You'll just have to make the ultimate game day sacrifice and be eaten.
How much does Geico love saving people money on car insurance? More than Punxsutawney Phil loves Groundhog Day.
I've been waiting for this day! Come on, no shadow, come on, no shadow!
Nerf Rival, competing teams red and blue. Now Phantom Core joins the battle with the new Spring Action Helios, blasting with accurate, high-impact rival rounds. And the compact Chronos for battling on the run. A new era of Rival has begun. New Rival Helios and Chronos. Experience the intensity.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Houston Outlaws.
The Houston Outlaws are the ones that are spearheading the charge for Western team to actually contend for the top.
I really believe in a lot of the players on the team. I think they're some of the best players in the whole world on their positions.
But the Outlaws are looking off the trot. The gunslingers now looking up the ante here.
My style is being really defensive and going really aggressive when needed, and then going all in.
My style is very dynamic. I'm an aggressive player. I don't underestimate when I say that gaming is quite literally my life.
Then the Outlaws will claim the first map.
What I want most is the team to be cohesive, to understand the game on the same level, and that takes time, and I want to focus on that.
It's celebration time as Houston rolls forward.
A big thank you to all our fans. All of your support really motivates us to do better, and we're not going to let you down.
Well, Houston definitely not letting their fans down yet today. They are up a game over Seoul Dynasty already in this pretty crucial match. Looking forward to the playoffs here for Stage 1.
Absolutely, and based on the eye test, you have to say this is the map you most expect Houston to win.
Yeah.
It was close though, so that makes me a little bit worried though if how the rest of this is going to go out.
I mean, that's the thing, is Eichenwald did go Houston's way, but it wasn't dominating, you know? I mean, Jake had some clutch plays. They pulled it through in the end, but Seoul had such a good hold on point B that I think they showed this is going to be a pretty close match overall.
And this next map, both of our teams are undefeated on Horizon, and they both play a very interesting style. So we've seen attacking teams on Horizon, when we're talking about Seoul and Houston, play a Sombra, usually with Raucus or Jaehong on the Sombra, and then combine it with a Tracer and a Widowmaker. So you get the flank in, you try and set up your Widow for the direct vision onto the point and the line of sight, and then get your picks from there on point A.
So knowing that, these teams, you know, no doubt have watched each other's games coming into this one. They're going to know that that's been the trend. So will we see things swapped up a bit to maybe try to throw each other off?
I think you definitely play a Symmetra on defense here so that you can buy yourself a little extra time. You can't play Symmetra on attack on Horizon when the packs have already been hacked by a defensive Sombra.
Try telling that to my ranked game teammate.
So you need to get the Sombra out, and because both of these teams do like to play attack Sombra, I would think they'd run something similar here. But it doesn't look like we're going to see that. Houston on defense first. It will be Jake on the Junkrat and Clockwork on the Soldier 76.
And possibly Jaehong on the Mei. And we have seen plenty of that from Jaehong on maps like Junkertown. We've seen players like Rascal pull it out here on Lunar Colony, but I wonder if he's going to stick with that.
I don't think so.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I'd be a little bit surprised.
I'll
put it that way.
Especially, let's just say there's some anti-synergy with Widowmaker sightlines with that Mei that I don't know if that's going to make it entirely attractive. They may have a very special route for their attack, and he's not swapping, so no, you may be right.
And we'll see. I mean, if anyone's going to do it, it's Jaehong. Okay, but there's a swap to the Sombra. So that's a little bit more normal.
This is exactly what the Houston Outlaws will be expecting from Seoul Dynasty. The same composition, the same look that we've seen from them before.
That's right.
And they are going to know that there is a Sombra now.
Yeah, they saw her go into stealth mode coming around the corner there.
Question is, are we going to stick with this or not?
Looks like they're going to try to charge up Toby's ultimate there on Zumba a little bit maybe. Saw him poke out. Try to draw some fire. I don't know if... Oh, they were ready, man. They were ready.
Matt read that very well.
Yeah, and now if you're sold, you swap. I think maybe you do.
No, I think you're fine.
You think so?
Yeah, try a different approach. Go for the Mega Health Pack underneath the members of the Houston Outlaws right now. You should be able to get a pack hacked eventually. Coolman is actually standing pretty far on the flank. He's actually waiting in the running path on the right-hand side of the mini health pack for the Sombra. So you can see him over on the far flank.
They're going to try to draw him up, but instead Zumba just gets demexed immediately. It's not going so well for Seoul just yet. Jaehong less than half of the way to the EMP. I don't know if this is working out too well. Now Houston trying to find Seoul down the low ground. They do. Miro down already.
Feed is back capping.
That's right. Trying to draw Houston back to the point. Looks like they will for the moment.
Okay, Jaehong did get the hack on the mini. So they drew Cool Matt back onto the high ground. And now this Junkrat is going to get hacked. Has plenty of healing though, so not enough damage to actually push him through. Zunba, Jaehong, and Wakid are still on this side while the rest of the members of Seoul are recollecting themselves.
Ooh. Banking on the translocator being there later. Jake trying to get ready for Jae-Hong on that Soma.
Watch for this EMP from Jae-Hong.
Yep, that's right. And Houston, they're funneling onto the point now. Maybe an opportunity here.
Everybody's on the point from Houston. They're in a dangerous position.
Yep, that's very dangerous. Miro gets taken out, though, as the EMP comes in. Raucus falls immediately to Zunba. But Houston finding a lot of kills here, so that EMP not working out at all. It seemed like maybe Miro was just a little bit out of sync with his team. He died right as that fight began.
Yeah, great focus fire from the Houston Outlaws. They also scattered right as the EMP was coming in, so it only hit 3 of them. And the rest of the damage was still there, courtesy of the Junkrat. Jake sitting on this Riptire.
I mean, I said it before the last time we casted these guys. Jake on Junkrat on defense is one of the most powerful player-hero position combinations in Overwatch right now, and he's showing it again.
Yeah, their defense has been airtight.
There's a tire behind you.
Watch the tire get killed by Zunba, but now they know exactly where they are. So Wakid is still out of the airlock. Coolmat pokes around. Coolmat's been doing a great job of controlling the flankers, actually, this match so far. And there's another one, Raucus.
He's like, I'm not going to get EMP'd, and then instant kill.
This is really bad for Seoul. They're only 50% of the way to another EMP. Benny did use the Valk, though, so Seoul has a chance here. But Toby has been dying early against Houston. If he is targeted again, this could be it. This could be full hold for Houston.
And we'll see if they can. They've got ultimates to spare. There's a hack on a Coolmat, though. Can't capitalize on it, though, it looks like. Seoul needs to come in and get something done right here, right now. Coolmat's trying to stop it. They're trying to zone Toby out. But takes on the supercharger. Coolmat just drops the self-destruct. Needs to get his mech back in a hurry. Jae-Hong falls, but Banny does on the Houston side. This might be Seoul's opportunity here. They need a bit more. 20 seconds remaining here. It's D.Va versus D.Va. And now Weki coming in on the Tracer to try to help out a little bit. Raucus goes down. That's 2 supports out of the way. Houston Outlaws faltering a bit here at the end of point A. Jake, half health. Off of the point. There goes Muma getting low. Needs to get to the health pack if he can. Seoul just scrambling. It looks like they might be able to grind this one out, but no, Houston been back on the point right now, and they killed Jake's Riptire. That is crucial. EMP for Jae-Hong. He's going to get everybody with that one. That was a big one.
That was a good one. Fleta going to clean it up with the big Dragon Blade 2.
Yeah, that helps.
They tried to get back onto that point. Houston dedicated a lot of resource, including a tactical visor, to the end of that fight.
Yeah.
That was actually a big investment there. Fleta, they're lucky Fleta used the Dragon Blade, because there could have been a big snowball coming into point B if they used all their DPS ults and then decided to change it over. Clockwork is going to switch to the Tracer right now. Jake will be spending some time on the girders at the top of the map, spamming through the upper doorway as usual.
Well, this is where it gets ridiculously hard for any attacking team. I mean, Houston has shown time and time again that it's really impossible to get Jake off of those girders up there.
It's why they have such a dominant record here on Horizon.
And as soon as I say that, Zumba just boops him off, so that happens. Clockwork down, Clockwork back up. And Seoul trying to grind this one out. They nearly have a tick already here. Jake down. Ooh, Seoul. Have they managed to crack the defense here?
Both players are using Valkyrie right now. Jake is getting ulted in a corner by the Winston. Zunba wants to get Raucus.
Whoa, he gets taken down by the baby D.Va. Zunba taken out by Jake's Riptire, but Jae-Hong on the point with the Transcendence. Seoul coming in yet again, trying to just take out the rest of the members of Houston. They still haven't taken that first tick, but now Fleta over onto the Widowmaker, finding those picks. There goes Coolmat's mech. And Raucus may be in a little bit of trouble here too. No shield protecting him. That's 1 tick. Seoul nearing 2 ticks here on point B. Bonnie a little bit on the low side. They got to be careful here. Wow, that's a fast ult for Fleta's Widowmaker. Oh, Weki comes in with the double pulse bomb killed, and Manny is one of the victims. They cannot lose that mercy. That may just be it.
Fleta swap back.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not.
Fleta swap back to the Widowmaker, though. Allowed Seoul to get 2 of those points. Comes in on the Genji. Decides, hey, we're starting to get an advantage on this point. I know I'm not going to have any pressure, because Houston Outlaws are scrambling to swap to other heroes, and also to make sure that they're staggering themselves on the point to delay as long as possible. They're not going to have the energy to deal with me on the Widowmaker, and he gets a couple of very big support kills that end up getting them nearly all 3 ticks.
Whoa, Zunba pushing Jake right into the sights of Fleta. Doesn't get much better than that for a combo. Coolmat on the point now, just trying to keep his team in this one. Seoul gets pushed back again, but you know, both times they've attacked now, they've been able to knock Jake from his lofty perch.
Yeah, they know exactly how the members of the Houston Outlaws like to play their point B defense, and they're focusing that right now. Beautiful combo.
Well, that's the thing, is everybody knows how Houston likes to do it, but so far, Seoul's the only one that I've been able to see actually get Jake off of that top girder there.
Yeah, it's been impressive, and especially the setup with Fleta, of course, on the Widowmaker. Seoul's going to be coming in with 5 ults right now.
Wow,
they're going to kill the Riptire.
That's a lot of Riptires that have been shot out from under Jake so far this game. Fleta with another clutch shot onto that one. Seoul with a lot of ults coming into this. Clockwork finds the kill onto Fleta though. Seoul short-handed. They're going to bring him up and take down Muma in the process. Jake on the run, going to try to come in from behind here. Clockwork push out that fight too. Now the Transcendence comes in from J-Home. They've nearly got it. He's low again. That pulse bomb could be crucial here. If he can stick a good one, he puts on the Zunba. No, it got eaten. It got eaten by Zunba's Diva.
It got eaten, and Cool Matt is also going to get teamed back. Can Banny come in here and be the hero, resurrecting tanks?
Well, he brings Muma back up. Can he stay alive? No, Zunba's right there for the kill. And Miro just zoning everybody else out. J-Home decides he wants a couple kills for the stat line as well. And they may just have it. That's it. Seoul grabs 2 points with 10 seconds left on the clock. 9.7 to be specific, but they've broken the Houston defense on Lunar Colony. I don't think we've seen that happen in a while.
No, and especially again, Seoul in the last second. We saw them on Eichenwald nearly getting full held. Once again, nearly getting full held on Horizon, and somehow still getting both points. So now it's up to Houston, see what they can do on attack.
This is just how Seoul seems to operate, where no matter who the opponent is,
heart attack.
No matter who the map is or what the map is, they will take every point in the very last second. It is. It's a stressful team to watch if you're a fan of Seoul Dynasty.
Absolutely. And I'm curious what we're going to see, if any, in terms of adaptations from Seoul on defense. We've actually seen them play quite a few different things. The last time Seoul played this map, they were playing against New York. It did go into double time bank, so we got to see 3 attacks from New York, actually. And on defense, they were swapping between what we see here, which is the Junkrat Widowmaker, more of a pick composition.
Yeah.
And then they were also playing Genji Tracer Dive, but notably, the attack was that quad tank Moira Slambulance, so it was a bit different than what we're probably going to see from Houston, which is the Tracer, Sombra, and Widow that we also saw Seoul use.
Yeah. All right, well, Houston Outlaws, the nice thing for them is that they have a chance to set a better time than Seoul if they finish pretty much at all. I mean, you're not going to get many times between 10 and 0 seconds, so if Houston gets some momentum going, they might put themselves in a great place for time bank, but they got to do it right here, right now.
So note that Wakid is actually on the flank. He's going to be looking for the Tracer or for the Sombra, and we'll see which approach, whether it's towards the Mega or the Mini health pack, we'll be seeing from Raucus. It actually will be Jake coming in first.
Yeah, that Tracer manages to avoid the shots of Fleta.
Raucus is packing the Mega health pack right now underneath Seoul.
Here come the tanks. Fleta backing away off that high ground. Right into the waiting arms of Jake, though. He was there on the Tracer for a moment before backing away. Ooh, and that's a Widowmaker from across the map. Fleta looking out for Clockwork there. Zunba D-Max. Wenki gets the kill onto Jake in the meantime, and Seoul falls back to the point. They need to keep trying to defend this one, but that Widowmaker is certainly scary, especially after you've lost Jaehong already. Wenki, only 11 health remaining. He can't stay up, and this may be a pretty quick point A for Houston.
That was a great execution from Houston. They distracted them by using Jake on the Tracer to start things off, get the hack underneath, and then they bring everybody else from the members of Houston up onto the high ground.
Yeah, a little bit of a delay, but
it's a clean attack, though. And what I love about watching the Houston today when they've been on attack, everything is so methodical. They may be a bit slow in the setup, but it's always executed when they pull the trigger extremely well.
Yeah. Props to Clockwork again for putting on a lot of pressure with that Widowmaker. You know, Jake was down for a little bit, so it was on him to hit those shots and do the damage. He's been stepping up, no doubt about it.
Raucus also didn't have to use the EMP, so he's going to be coming in right now, and that is a Riptire onto the high ground. Coolmat is correct, but he'll get his mech back.
He's glad that he's not the old diva a few patches ago that you could die your own mech. Lucky falls early though. Jake finds that kill. Clockwork killed off by Fleta though in the Widow v Widow. Coolmat chasing tanks around, but Miro gets back to spawn for a bit of health. Now Coolmat demechs as he tries to go deep. Not gonna live. Jaehong finds 2 kills, both on the mech and onto Coolmat, so it looks like Outlaws are gonna have to go back to spawn for now.
They are pushed back. Clockwork gonna use this opportunity to switch back over to the Soldier. I doubt we'll see Raucus continuing on this Sombra either. They need a little bit more healing, and
yeah,
that Orb of Discord to focus down targets quickly as they respawn. And there it goes. Yeah, swapping over now. So going back to more standard composition. And the Houston Outlaws will not be getting any ticks even, unfortunately for them. So it looks like we're in for a long attack round now, as everybody's going to have to be getting some of these ultimates back into shape in order to make a dedicated assault.
Oh, Muma down. Fleta finds the kill there, and Coolmat nearly taken out. He is demech'd himself. That's both tanks out of commission now for Houston. And Seoul Dynasty gonna stop that push before it begins.
Fleta back on the Widowmaker. I wonder how Houston's going to handle this. And it's going to be Jake onto the McCree.
Yeah.
So they want to try and get some more long-range damage down. Not going to be jumping in the face. Jake, of course, can play the Genji if he wants to, but decides that they want to really just put a lot of damage in from the high ground.
No one can hide.
Give it a try anyway, yeah. All right, Fleta uses the ultimate to get a bead on where the Houston Outlaws are setting up. Weki near that Riptire.
And sticking to the Orisa too, this is really interesting. But that Widowmaker against the, basically the barrier where the Soldier and the McCree can stand there is going to be effective, and Toby will fall first.
Yeah, catches a Helix rocket. Seoul goes in to try to push Houston back, give him a little bit of time to respond. Fleta looping around the outside. Can he get the kill onto Mercy? They're going to push him back. Self-destruct comes in. Oh, he gets hit with the flashbang, but Jaehong right there with the Transcendence to keep him up. Can he get the kill into Jake? They can't. Jaehong helping out with that after the Zenyatta ultimate ends. Fleta, meanwhile, though, finds himself behind enemy lines. Oh, but mission kill Jake is a success. He falls himself, though. And so Houston giving about as much as they've gotten, but they will have to regroup.
Houston thought they had a chance after taking down Toby and Banny having the Valkyrie to take advantage of that little opening before Toby was going to revive. Unfortunately, we did see Jake get sequestered into the corner by the mini health pack and not able to contribute really to the bulk of the fight as Fleta goes into machine gun mode in proximity.
Riptire time, Wiki coming up from behind. Oh, and he gets there, 3 kills. They thought it was gonna come on from high, but the tire came from below. It's a tire, that's where it should come from.
Rolling on the ground, right?
That's right.
It's where you expect the tires to be, not falling from above.
That's right.
But Overwatch things work a little bit differently. More Mad Max rules here.
Yeah, well, Jake had a great tweet the other day. He said, TF2 trained me to aim, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater trained me to rip tire.
It's actually really good.
You can't argue with those skills, yeah. Sit grind. Fleta, watching for people coming in from the low ground, gets a shot off on the Coolmat. Houston Outlaws with 1 ultimate here, as Seoul has 1 as well. Bonnie really close to that Valkyrie, though.
Right now, the Outlaws are really flailing for an answer to Fleta's Widowmaker, and I'm not sure that Clockwork going onto the Widow is exactly what you want here. I think if I were Houston, even though they don't typically play it, I'd be thinking more about the full dive. Can we run the Tracer and the Genji together? Can we get into the back corner where Fleta is typically perched and see if we can get rid of him to start things off?
Well, there hasn't been a ton of pressure on Jaehong as well, and when you don't pressure Jaehong, he just keeps doing tons of damage to you. So, oh, there's a shot from Clockwork. That one worked out. Fleta, meanwhile, again on the side, has to watch out. They're going to pop the Transcendence on the Houston side. Now the Widow do. Clockwork looking for some shots. Fleta up on the high ground to try to stay alive, but Houston coming out ahead so far in this fight. Jaehong not going to be zoned out by that self-destruct. He's going to try to prevent Houston from getting any time going. And that gives Toby enough time to bring Weki back. So with Muma and Banny over in the corner. Oh, but Jaehong caught by Raucus. Zen v Zen goes Houston's way, but unfortunately for them, the point does not. and they're pushed back once more. A minute 30 on the clock.
The picks from Fleta are proving to be devastating for Houston.
Yeah.
He's got all the time in the world to line up these shots, and Houston again thinks that they're doing well, thinks that they're going to draw out that Valkyrie from Toby, be able to match it with one of their own, but
here comes the rip tire.
The respawns are too much. Jake has got to do a ton of work with this.
Yeah. There it is, Zumba right there. Oh, the tire taken out again. Zumba was so ready. Gets trapped. Is he going to actually get away? He is. What in the world? I think Seoul Dynasty may have Jake downloaded here. Didn't look like it on Eichenwald, but they are clearly prepared for Lunar Colony. Clockwork with a couple kills, though.
Yeah, he's going to get Fleta, so that's a nice start to this engagement. They still have 45 seconds.
Yep.
Miro's going to use the Primal Rage just to knock people back and stay alive. Actually, not stay alive. Jake will chase him down. Jake again switching heroes. Back to double hit scan with the Soldier 76 and the Widowmaker. One last attack for Houston. Toby has the Valkyrie. Benny needs to get his soon.
I like the swap onto the Soldier 76 because you've got the supercharger from Muma. So having that powered up 76 may just be what they need. If Jake can stay alive to get that point, but they need to make something happen right now. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Here we go, Seoul Dynasty. That Valkyrie going to be crucial for Toby. Can they get there? Oh, Zumba with the supercharger and Muma taken out. Rockus comes in with the Transcendence, but Seoul just backs away. They can wait it out. They've got time now. Jae-Hong with his. Houston Outlaws in a lot of trouble, but they are getting the kills until Toby comes in with the resurrections on the Valkyrie. It's a brawl on the point, but that Mercy is still untouched. That may make the difference. Jae-Hong taking matters into his own robotic hands as well, and that will be it. Seoul Dynasty will tie up this series 1-1.
And that, in a nutshell, Della, is what is so scary about this Seoul Dynasty team and Lunatic High.
Seriously.
Before it, think about Eichenwald and think about Horizon and say, wow, they lost really fast on those first attacks to Houston. But once they start to adapt to you and figure you out, it becomes incredibly difficult to punch through. They got Fleta onto the Widowmaker. There was never any pressure on him towards the end of Horizon. And Seoul, in spite of losing the first point in a rapid manner, bounces back and convincingly holds it beat.
What can you say? Download complete, guys. Let's see if Houston has what it takes to come back and take the lead again after halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
Look at you, Tyson Anytizers and Crispy Strips. You help fuel greatness. You'll just have to make the ultimate game day sacrifice and be eaten.
How much does Geico love saving people money on car insurance? More than gamers love energy drinks.
And this is the Blizzard Stormberry with artificial flavors and tons of caffeine.
3, 2, 1. So good to be back. It is. It is.
Let's do this properly. Come on.